What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be pushing up in Pokemon Champions ranked double battles at the beginning of Season 5. It's very early in the season, so we're going to try and push up to Master Ball tier here in this video as quickly as we can. If you missed it, we did the same thing in single battles just a few days ago and got up to Master Ball tier on day 1. Go check that out. Leave a like if you've been enjoying these longer videos for singles and doubles where we pushed right up from PokeBall tier to Master Ball tier at the beginning of the season. And subscribe if you want to see us pushing in Master Ball tier. We're going to be right up there early on in both singles and doubles, so we'll be pushing hard this season, no doubt. So I was really focused on single battles in Season 4, so we're going to try and ease back into the double battle scene, but I used this team back in Season 1 and 2 and had a ton of success with it in double battles, getting up to the top 6,000. There's going to be a few tweaks. I used to have Aegislash where excadrill was, and I'm subbing them out because I want to try the Sand team with excadrill and the Sand Rush. I've never really done it, so I'm excited to see how that works. We might try out this team as well. I had a lot of success in Seasons 3 and 4 with this Rain team. I again made a few tweaks. I used to have Gyarados in that slot with Gallade, but I felt like there was too much water on the team, and I just got the shiny Gallade, so I'm really excited about this Choice Scarf Gallade set. We might try that out as well, but we're definitely going to tweak up some things as we go. Like I said, it's been about a season since I've really pushed in double battles, so we're going to have to learn a few new things and kind of refamiliarize ourselves with the meta, but these teams had a ton of success back then, so I don't see why they can't still work in this season. The main thing is just going to be relearning all of the nuances of double battles that are different from singles, but I have no doubt that we'll be able to make it happen. It's just things like, here's Archaludon, and they run completely differently in doubles and singles. This is hilarious because they have a Venusaur and Gardevoir as well, which is so funny because Venusaur has gotten really popular ever since I started using them, but Gardevoir I don't think is so popular, so that's fun. They could be Mega Aerodactyl or Mega Lopunny too, so we got to watch out for that. I think since it's the first game of the season, I'm just going to do the Tyranitar excadrill lead and try to have some success with the Sand Rush and go from there. The star of this team back in the day was my Choice Scarf Rotom. No one ever expected it. I used to lead with them a lot, and you could get a Volt Switch off on an Aerodactyl like this or something, but let's see how this goes. I could do a Rock Slide with my excadrill right off the bat here and have a ton of success. So we have some options for sure, not a bad lead. I don't usually like doing this, but I guess we're pretty free to do a double Rock Slide here. I love running the Tyranitar with Bright Powder. I actually don't really like playing as Mega Tyranitar. It can work out well if there's a ton of weather because you get like 2 opportunities to do the Sandstorm with your Mega Evolution. Well, that's just an outspeed Rock Slide. Thankfully, it didn't miss. So, good early returns with the Sand Rush. Tailwind is in place, but as long as Rock Slide doesn't miss here, we can just knock out the Aerodactyl and be good to go. So, that is 2 Pokemon down on turn 1. I guess all you have to do sometimes is the double Rock Slide. I've been seeing some Choice Scarf Tyranitar out there, I think, but that is a turn 1 forfeit. I'd say that's a really good way to start off the season. Very good early returns from our excadrill here. Straight up into Pokeball Tier 3 right after the first win. Let's keep it rolling. If we get a good win streak going, we can maybe snowball this thing and go pretty quickly, but didn't even need to see a Mega there, just double Rock Slide and we move on. Alright, more of a standard team probably here that we're looking at, but I think we can accomplish the same thing. I don't think I'm going to lead the Tyranitar because we might need to bring them in for that Charizard afterwards, so maybe we go with a Venusaur Rotom lead and then have these 2 in the back. I think I actually like Gardevoir in this one more than the Venusaur. It does a lot of good against, well, their Venusaur, Sneasler. Yeah, I actually like Gardevoir in this one. So one thing I was kind of hesitant on about bringing the excadrill is I don't want to feel like I have to bring them every time. It's a nice combo to have with Tyranitar, but I want to bring Arcanine into some battles, and it might not always be the best lead, so I don't want to default into it every time. But if we can bring it, it is definitely a very strong win condition for our team. So I thought they might have the, oh, that's nice that we traced the Intimidate right back at them. That's awesome, actually. Oh man, so much Intimidate going around. Good thing I love the special attackers. Now, the question here is I could Volt Switch into Gyarados, but they probably know that's going to happen. I could Hydro Pump into Incineroar. We don't want Gardevoir to take unnecessary damage here, so we have to be careful. The Incineroar might just fake out the Rotom, so I'm not sure here who the bigger threat is. Probably the Gyarados. It seems kind of silly to not try and get this Volt Switch off, so I might protect with Gardevoir. If that Incineroar fakes us out, I just kind of want to keep our Mega safe. Gardevoir is not the tankiest, especially against physical threats. Okay. Well, I guess Gardevoir could have got some free damage off, but that's okay. Yeah, that's totally fine. This is just gonna damage the Incineroar, I guess. I don't know what they were going for. I guess they just wanted to do damage to our Gardevoir. It's early on in the season, so we could be playing anyone right now. I don't know how high up this person was last season. They could have been the best player in the world, or they could have been down in Great Ball tier. So let's see. I think this is free. I think we get a good Hyper Voice off here, and unless they want to do some switching games, Rotom should get a good shot on Gyarados. They might not like that because they saw that we outsped after that fake out. But that's okay, because we can Volt Switch anything that comes in. Alright, they didn't want to switch out. The Gyarados could be Focus Sash, but if it is, one of the beautiful things about this team is Sandstorm kind of negates Focus Sash, so we could just Volt Switch right into Tyranitar, and Sandstorm takes care of this Gyarados. But they are not Focus Sash, so there goes Gyarados, and Gardevoir is going to get a massive attack off on this Incineroar. Alright, no split damage anymore on the Hyper Voice. Wow, Incineroar is so tanky. That's okay. We proc their Citrus Berry. Sandstorm's going to do some damage as well. Parting Shot is fine. Tyranitar is weirdly more of a support Pokemon on this team with the sand. Like, the biggest thing that Tyranitar brings is the sand. And Knockoff is good to get rid of items, so it's okay that we don't do the most damage. And now that Charizard's in here, we're going to have to do some switch games because we need to bring sand back in. But that's okay. We're ready for that. We took care of their Gyarados, so I think we're in a great spot here. Okay, I have to be really careful because Gardevoir can just Psychic this Venusaur, but assuming the Charizard goes with Sun, this is probably a Chlorophyll Venusaur who will then Sludge Bomb us. So I'm going to protect the Gardevoir here, not risk that damage, switch into Rotom, and then we can Volt Switch out and bring Sand back in, and then we should be free to take out this Venusaur. I might actually not want to Volt Switch because Venusaur might outspeed after that Chlorophyll. We have to be double careful too, because they could obviously Giga Drain my Rotom. Oh wow. Sleep Powder, okay. Well, I guess we just had a free Psychic on this Venusaur, but we should still be able to do that. Gardevoir does get extra special defense, so it's interesting they targeted Gardevoir here. Oh no, they didn't. I was gonna say, that's fine. Honestly, Rotom doesn't really do too much against this team, and this just brings in our sand for free. I don't even have to worry about the switches. So Gardevoir is going to use Psychic on Venusaur. Now, the problem here is if Venusaur protects, we need to cover for that. And the way we should do that is just by Rock Sliding, because either Charizard will go down, or if they switch in the Incineroar, Rock Slide should take care of them. And then that way, Charizard is in, and we know that we don't have to worry about the Sun switching in after that. So I think this is a pretty safe move this turn, and we'll go from whatever they want to do. I assume Venusaur is going to protect, and they're going to try and reset the Sun. Hopefully Rock Slide doesn't miss. We take care of Incineroar here, and then we have the control of the weather. Alright, Venusaur doesn't have Protect. That's a KO on Venusaur, and I think this game is a wrap. Honestly, even if Rock Slide misses, we can take control back here. Nice. So I'm going to play this super safe. I don't want to risk any games here. I will just be sacrificing Excadrill essentially and protecting on Gardevoir, because if we can switch Tyranitar back in and reset the Sun, we have total control of the game, and we don't have to worry about a one-turn Solar Beam. Heat Wave will do less damage. It'll just go a long way. So excadrill is not our win condition here. Charizard is. Sorry, Tyranitar is our win condition, so let's lean into that. I'm fine with this Solar Beam. Doesn't even knock excadrill out, but let's switch in Tyranitar, reset the sand. If we need excadrill to come in later, they will even have the Sand Rush, so we're good from there. And yeah, Gardevoir will just get a big Psychic on Charizard Y. I don't think it'll KO. Charizard Y has good special defense, just like our Gardevoir does here, so it might not one-shot, but Sand will chip him down. Tyranitar's fine. This is pretty much over. Special defense drop for good measure. Okay, yeah, well, we locked them into this because this Solar Beam's not going to go off, and we know that Gardevoir outspeeds, so that's GG. We don't even need to risk a Rock Slide miss with Tyranitar. I don't even think Solar Beam would KO because we get special defense with the Sand. I guess we're speed tying with the Gardevoir. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that does nothing. Look at how beefy Tyranitar is in the Sand. Alright, well that is a win number 2 against a pretty standard team that we'd see here. So early returns are great. We still have to figure out some nuances. The Rotom, I like having the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, we'll make this thing work really well. Just like that, we got right up into PokeBall Tier rank 2, almost rank 1. So let's keep the streak going and just fly up out of the PokeBall Tier here. Alright, another pretty standard team, but the rain version, so we're going to probably have Pelipper, Archaludon things to worry about. I want to lead the Rotom in case we need a Volt Switch off on that Pelipper. I expect it to be Focus Sash, but that's okay, we can go from there. I'll lead Venusaur too because it does so good against Archaludon. I have to be careful. If it's that Staraptor though, Venusaur hates that, and Gardevoir actually does pretty good against them. I think Mega Venusaur is the move over Gardevoir. We just have to be careful about Pelipper and Staraptor. Luckily, Rotom can help with those, so we should cover our bases, and I do think I'm going to go, well, definitely Tyranitar for the rain, but I don't even know if I need Excadrill in this one. Maybe Arcanine would be better off. I just get worried again about that Staraptor because Arcanine has Intimidate, so we could activate their Contrary, but Intimidate would be good against Mawile and Basculegion, so I'll go with Excadrill. I just don't want to get stuck with Arcanine in case it's Staraptor and we have to proc their Contrary even more. They can't boost their own attack, so that would just not be good. Well, we got the lead down. This one's pretty straightforward here. I'm going to Volt Switch the Pelipper and Earth Power Archaludon. That should cover our base as well, and then we can bring Sand in to hopefully negate whatever that Archaludon wants to do here. But yeah, this is why I ran this team initially. I mean, Mega Venusaur covers so well. I guess people have caught on to it with the Earth Power, but alright, they already kind of caught on to that and didn't want to deal with it. But Staraptor is not going to want to eat this Volt Switch either, and if that's their Mega, I'm pretty happy to get that out of here really early on. I don't think this will KO actually, but it might because they haven't Mega Evolved, so regular Staraptor might be pretty frail here. Nice. If that's their Mega, that is such a good turn 1. And so now we're going to bring Sand in. So if Archaludon was doing an Electro Shot, that's going to be negated. And Earth Power is going to do work. We know they're not protecting. So very, very good start here. Yep. Works just as intended. Looks like not much has changed since Season 1 and 2. This is exactly what I was doing to kind of counter out the meta back then. So Archaludon is stuck, doing nothing for this turn. And Earth Power one-shots, wow, I don't think that's always the case. This must be, okay, that's a crit. I was about to say, I don't think Earth Power KOs Archaludon like that. It's like 70-80% damage, I think, but I will take it. Alright, gotta play this extra careful here because like the last battle, our win condition is bringing Sand back in so that we have control of the weather. So I'm just going to switch Rotom in, get a Protect off on Venusaur and keep them safe, and then we can switch the Sand back in afterwards, and we should be good to go. Yep, perfect prediction there. So Rotom, ooh, that's not going to be a good hit for Rotom, but we should survive because of the split damage. Okay, we didn't need Rotom to survive. We could have just switched Tyranitar in naturally. The burn doesn't matter either. But now we just have the option to Volt Switch, and Rotom should be able to take care of Pelipper themselves. If Pelipper wants to protect, that should be okay because Venusaur can just do work against Sinistcha with a big Sludge Bomb. Wide Guard, okay. We're not using any split moves. Good to know they have that in case we want to Rock Slide, but this should be a KO'd Pelipper. If they have Focus Sash like they do, that is what Sandstorm is for. Tyranitar is going to come in, and that Pelipper is gone anyways. So everything works just as intended. And man, I'm happy that my team is still getting it done. I wonder what they thought was going to be wide guarded. Man, that still did a lot of damage to Tyranitar, even in the sand with our boosted special defense. Crit on Venusaur did nothing. That's fine with me, we'll just whittle down this Sinistcha, but thankfully they don't make us do that. That is another good win. We are flying up here early on in the season. I'm so happy that this team's working. If it keeps working, I won't switch over to the Rain team, but if we start struggling, I'm down to mix it up, but hey, this might even get us into PokeBall Tier right here. Nice, look at that. 3-win streak is all it takes to get us up into the PokeBall Tier, so what a fantastic start. Let's just keep it rolling, and maybe we can get a crazy win streak here in the beginning. Man, it feels like double battles are even more meta heavy than singles. I like the Rotom lead again into anything they want to do here. I think Venusaur is a good pick again. We once again just have to be careful about the Staraptor, but we know we can cover for that. And I might bring Arcanine into this one over Excadrill. I'm not too worried about, well, I guess it's the same problem with the Staraptor. We'll just do the same thing. Alright, Charizard Golden Go. The good news here is most of these Mega Charizard Ys and doubles don't have a flying attack, so I'm willing to be wrong, but Mega Venusaur can survive a fire attack with the thick fat. So I think I'm going to Volt Switch into Charizard, bring in our Tyranitar for that sand, and then we should get a huge Earth Power on Golden Go with our Venusaur here. I thought about not Mega Evolving my Venusaur to outspeed with the Chlorophyll, but it's kind of that's a tough decision to make because, like I said, I assume they're doing a fire move and we are going to need the extra thick fat ability to survive that. They might Solar Beam into Tyranitar, but if they do, that's totally okay. Tyranitar gets bulky in the sand, and plus sand will be coming in to negate that, so yeah, they won't be able to get that attack off this turn. So we're set up well. Alright, Weather Ball is great for me too because that is now a rock attack in the sand and not doing too much damage to us. Make It Rain will be big here. Big against Tyranitar. Okay, that's a big attack, but this Earth Power should do work. I don't know if it's a tankier Golden Go or a more speedy one. It looks like a speedier one, so this might do a ton of damage. Yeah, Earth Power doesn't usually find a one-shot, so that's something to note, and unfortunately Sandstorm's not going to chip down the Golden Go, so we have to be careful here because they'll just outspeed, Make It Rain both of us. I think I'm going to switch an Excadrill here and eat that resisted Make It Rain, protect with Venusaur to kind of scout out, and we can bring Sand back in case they switch out Charizard. That Golden Go would just outspeed KO both of us, so I'm not going to let that happen. This isn't a perfect turn, but I didn't want to just eat the free Make It Rain. Scale Shot is interesting, so Excadrill's Focus Sash is broken, but that's okay. They didn't switch out the Charizard, so we still have our Sand Rush for the next turn. Nice. So Venusaur is still safe. Excadrill should eat this a lot better because it's resisted. Still a ton of damage. But now they don't have a White Herb, so Golden Go will either have to switch out or do no damage. Charizard keeps getting whittled down. And now because of our Sand Rush, I think we can just outspeed and do a double KO on Rock Slide. If Charizard wants to switch out, that's fine. Something later Rock Slide, and Venusaur, I'm I'm gonna Giga Drain something because we need some extra health. Unfortunately, most of these Pokemon resist a Giga Drain, so maybe I don't want a Giga Drain. Nothing wants to eat a Sludge Bomb, so the question is, who do we think's gonna switch out? Both of them, to be honest with you. They probably want to switch out Charizard more. I'll do the Charizard slot. I figured they probably want to reset their weather. Wow, we get a Rock Slide miss. Look at that. That was the one way that... Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, that was the way we lose. I don't think we lose necessarily, and that's a good thing that we targeted the Charizard slot. I guess Golden Go is still going to KO Venusaur, but wow. We left the Golden Go at 3 health, and Charizard missed the Rock Slide. That is such a tragedy. Oh man, that's a tough pill to swallow. Okay, well that sucks on a lot of different levels, and we are not in a good place here, so I'm going to protect with Tyranitar, and I think I'll just KO the Charizard here. Golden Go's still at -2, so they're not really a threat, and we know we can outspeed with Rotom. We're going to be locked into Thunderbolt. Okay, so Charizard doesn't do anything. Hopefully the Golden Go attacked Tyranitar as well, and this is kind of a free KO for Rotom. Would have loved for them to be KO'd from that Rock Slide. That's okay. Alright, so they attacked us with a physical move. This player is playing well because their special attack dropped, so that's okay. That did good damage, but not crazy damage. I would love for these Pokemon to be KO'd. That was a very tragic turn right there, and now we are in trouble because if they choose the correct Pokemon to attack, I think we just lose because Rotom can't do anything against Dragapult, so Golden Go will be gone, but let's see who Dragapult attacks. If they just KO Tyranitar, then this game's over. If not, then Knockoff will take care of the Dragapult and we'll be in a good spot. Okay, they split the damage. We didn't get KO'd. It's all going to come down to their last Pokemon here, because this is interesting. This is a great comeback. It's very, very close here. I think we lose Sand this turn, so that's a thing too in case they have a Focus Sash Pokemon. If it's Basculegion, which I kind of expect it to be, this is going to get really weird. That's really weird too. I don't think this is going to go well. I don't even think we can... I think we outspeed with both of them, and I don't think it's going to matter because it's going to eat this Thunderbolt really well, and I don't think Rock Slide's going to do enough. I'll knock off in case we knock off a very important item, but yeah, this is a bad... I kind of wanted it to be Basculegion here. Yeah, that's curtains. Our best chance here is our Bright Powder proccing on Tyranitar. Wow. Misty Explosion. So we all just go down. I think we lose because they attacked us, but you never know with these things. We win! Yeah, the Sylveon went down first of us three, so that's a really weird choice by them. I guess they don't have Hyper Voice, but oh man, we kind of, I don't know about got lucky there in the end. The luck kind of flipped around. I did not like that Rock Slide miss, or we probably would have taken care of that much sooner. Got to be careful there. That one definitely tightened up, and I have to reconsider some things. That was kind of one of my nuances with the excadrill. I don't like that Rock Slide chance to miss, but we can learn some lessons and go forward. It's much better to learn a lesson on a win, am I right? Nice. Okay, props to this person with a very fun team. I think I'm going to go with the Sand lead because why not with this team? Definitely want Gardevoir in case it's that Mega Altaria. They would do much better against them than Venusaur, I think. And I think I like Arcanine in this one, actually. Rotom's going to sit this one on the sidelines, but I like these four, and I think this is going to be a good battle. It's going to be fun for sure. This person's bringing a cool team. I love the Ariados. Vaporeon is interesting in doubles, but yeah, this is fun. Oh man, this battle is terrifying because I have no idea what to expect. Props to this person. That is why you run off meta. I'm kind of sad because I wish that I had a more off-meta team, to be honest with you, but I just wanted to push early so I can make some fun teams for doubles that are more off-meta and my cup of tea here, but I don't know, I just had so much success and I was more focused on singles, so this one gets weird because Sand loses its effects, but they could be Mega Evolving, and if that's the case, I'm going to Protect with Tyranitar. I'm kind of scared to deal with any of this. And I know I just talked about the Rock Slide, but I could Iron Head if that Altaria Mega Evolves, but if they don't, I just like the prospect of hitting this Ariados too. Okay, we probably should have Iron Headed, and that's fine. I'm not too threatened, although I think Altaria is like running Flamethrower. So the good news here is we do get our Sand back because their Cloud9 goes away when they Mega Evolve. So Rock Slide will get off, maybe we get a flinch, but Ariados will take some damage. Now we can Iron Head Altaria next turn, because like I said, we still have our Sand Rush. Okay, let's see what we got here. We knew they're doing some fun combo because it's not a common team, but we negated it out because, yeah, okay, we protected and got the right prediction. Oh man, a turn 1 forfeit. I wanted to see that thing play out. I don't think that was like, I guess we just Iron Head Altaria and do some damage to Ariados, but okay. Wow, we're just flying up. That's a 5-0 start to Season 5 here. Might as well keep going strong. This team is awesome. I don't know if it's perfect. Frankly, the thing I like about it the least is the Megas. Mega Gardevoir is fun. I don't know if it's perfect, but I like having Mega Venusaur. My problem with Mega Venusaur is it's like too safe and reliable. Like Mega Venusaur's whole thing that makes it strong is it's so well-rounded and can just kind of do everything. But I kind of want a Mega that's more of like takes the game over, which Gardevoir can do. I don't know, I thought about running Mega Drampa because I love them, but I'm not a Trick Room player, and that's kind of a Trick Room Pokemon, so I don't know. The Megas are honestly the ones I'm thinking about swapping the most. And then I thought about bringing a Tinkaton in for Excadrill. The top three are kind of my staples. I love having these three in doubles. They're just so reliable. My Bright Powder Tyranitar is awesome. I just love having that item, but yeah, it'll be evolving. For now, it's working well. I'm not complaining about a 5-0 start. So Rotom is definitely leading this one. If it's like an Incineroar Blastoise, we should probably go Venusaur. We should probably go Venusaur into all of that, except for Ninetales, which we'll bring the Excadrill for, I guess. Alright, well we are about to get Follow Me Shell smashed, and there's nothing I can do about that, because neither of these Pokemon can one-shot the Maushold. So yeah, that's a bummer, but we'll just fire off a Thunderbolt into Blastoise in case they don't follow me, and that'll do good damage. And I'm attacking Maushold with Venusaur to be safe in case Blastoise wants to protect or something. You don't want to double focus too much, but I'm pretty sure we're going to go Follow Me Shell Smash here, and we'll just have to go from there. I think Rotom still might outspeed, so if we KO the Maushold, we can get a good Thunderbolt off. But then I'm guessing they'll bring in Incineroar and fake us out. So this will be a thing, but yeah. Oof, that is a tanky Maushold. So hopefully the Sludge Bomb KOs. Okay. Well, we at least accomplished our goal here, but now we have a Shell Smash Blastoise. So we have to be careful. The good news is Water Spout doesn't threaten Venusaur or Rotom, really. I mean, Rotom's not tanky, but we'll at least resist it, so it's about as good as it's going to get. We got to keep those two ground and rock types in the back safe. Golden Go will be interesting. So it's not Fake Out, which I'm very happy about. Thunderbolt should do a lot on Blastoise. All Earth Power Golden Go. Do I need to Earth Power Golden Go, or should I just get rid of the Blastoise? I'll Earth Power Golden Go. Thunderbolt will take care of the, nice, it'll just take care of the Blastoise, yeah, because they Shell Smashed, so they're down on defense, and they never expect the Choice Scarf, so we still outspeed them anyways, and good thing I didn't Earth Power. Ooh. That is big damage, but Venusaur is super tanky, we eat it. That is a crit, too. Wow, we tanked a crit. I guess it's non-stab, but that's good damage. We saw this last battle, it doesn't KO, but that's cool with me. Looks like a lot more Golden Go all over the place. Ninetales, okay. Well, I'm just going to KO the Golden Go because we can, and if for whatever reason Venusaur survives, we'll get a good Sludge Bomb off on Ninetales, but yeah, we should just Scarf, knock out this Golden Go. I don't see why not. And then if someone goes down, we can bring in Sand, and be good to go from there with our Excadrill. Yep, that's fine. Another forfeit. That's 6 wins in a row here. Such good returns with this team. Man, this team is working even better than I could have imagined. 6-0 to start the season here in double battles. We are 1 win away from Ultra Ball tier already. We're flying up, so let's just keep it rolling and have some fun. Alright, we lost our streak because Rotom missed a Will-O-Wisp, so we have to be very careful about that going forward. Good thing to note for sure. This is a pretty fun team. I like what I'm seeing here. I think Gardevoir has a very good case in this one against pretty much that whole team, so I'm gonna actually lead them, and I'll lead them with the Rotom. Now this is strange and I don't usually do this, but I don't even think I want to bring Tyranitar, although that's kind of why I didn't want to bring Excadrill, because I can't really bring Excadrill on their own, and so like I can't bring these 4, so I kind of have to bring Tyranitar, so that's why I'm not in love with the team, but we can think about that going forward. Like if this was Tinkaton, I could still bring my Tinkaton, so maybe I'll go back to the Tinkaton. We'll rock with these 4 though, and I think I like Arcanine more than Excadrill for sure. We kind of have to bring Tyranitar because I can't bring Excadrill on their own, so that's okay. We'll think about that going forward. I like the synergy that Excadrill brings, but I also don't like getting pigeonholed into certain team lineups, so maybe we will see a Tinkaton in the future, but I can promise you I don't know what this person plans on doing because I have never seen this combo, so we're going to have some fun here. Gardevoir can KO whatever it wants, and I think we get outspeed, so let's just Psychic Victreebel and Volt Switch. Do we even need to Volt Switch? I'll Volt Switch because they might be Focus Sashed, and then Sandstorm could come into play, but if Thunderbolt was the move, I'm willing to be wrong. So these could have been Megas and they're not. Alright. That is a KO'd Hawlucha. Maybe they gave us one of those bots since we lost a game. That'd be pretty hilarious, to be honest. They didn't protect though, and Gardevoir is going to KO this Victreebel, that's for sure. Alright. Looks like they gave us a freebie after 1 loss, so that's fine with me. Yeah, definitely a bot because of how quickly they made their selections here. No sweat off my back. We will take a free win any day of the week and go from here. I think this might even get us to Ultra Ball tier, which is kind of funny that they did it for like our promotion match. Alright, the bot didn't get us quite to Ultra Ball tier, but one more win, we can get there right now. Alright, I mentioned the Tinkaton, but I'm just going to dial it back. I had Aegislash on this team back in Season 1, so it's actually my Season 1 team here. And I just pulled the shiny Aegislash in our last video, so go check that out if you missed it, but what a good excuse to bring them back, am I right? And that way we don't have to bring Tyranitar and we have more optionality. So this is a team for sure, and I'm definitely leading Tyranitar in case they go Oranguru. We can just knock them off and kind of get ahead of the Trick Room strat, hopefully. Rotom doesn't mind being a lead either, so for the Mega, I kind of want to go Venusaur for a lot of that, except for Torkoal, but we'll go with these four. I kind of wanted to bring Aegislash, but again, the Torkoal's scaring me, and Aegislash just would not want to deal with that, but I was tempted because of King Gambit and Trevenant, so we'll see. This is an interesting team for sure. We got to be careful of any Trick Room stuff that we see. That's the cool thing about my Rain team too, is they're kind of anti-Trick Room whenever I bring Ampharos, so maybe we could pivot back over to that team for Ultra Ball tier. I don't know, we're just having fun, so hopefully y'all are enjoying it, but we got one great lead here. Knockoff on Oranguru and Hydro Pump on Mudsdale. I mean, Hydro Pump can miss, but that's kind of the only thing that could go wrong, and it doesn't. Bye-bye Mudsdale, and I think bye-bye Oranguru. They could be pretty tanky. I mean, Oranguru is a tanky Pokemon, but Stab, Knockoff, they have an item. Wow, that Pokemon is tanky. That is a Stab boosted knockoff from a max attack Adamant Tyranitar. But they will go down to Sandstorm, so that's good. Honestly, the only thing I don't like right now is that Rotom is scarfed into a Hydro Pump, but we got such a good start that we might as well just try and do this, and then hopefully Oranguru just goes down to Sand. Yep. Nice Protect prediction. That's hilarious. I wonder if this would KO Rotom. Doesn't even matter because it's a double Protect from Tyranitar, and Hydro Pump does land, which is awesome. No chance that was KOing, but I mean, it's just free damage. And now Oranguru goes down to Sand, so we don't have to worry about Instruct or Trick Room coming back. We know what this King Gambit wants to do, so we can switch if we want, and they can no longer switch, which is always nice. There is the Torkoal though, so definitely switching out Tyranitar to make sure we can bring Sand back. And now all we really want to do is stall out this Trick Room. The only bad thing about this is I can't switch in. Okay, this gets tough because if I switch in Arcanine, we are voluntarily boosting the King Gambit's Defiant. If I switch in Venusaur, we are just sacrificing the Venusaur. So I kind of elected to sacrifice Venusaur here, and looks like it was a decent switch because they didn't go for Eruption, but I figured I don't want to voluntarily boost this King Gambit while I'm slower than them. If I do a Intimidate on my Arcanine and I'm faster, dang. That really sucks. That's fine, that's not the end of the world, but I'm just going to Protect and start stalling this thing out. We just need to stall out the Trick Room. And if I Protect on Venusaur and bring in Sand here, it'll mitigate their Eruption damage and yeah, hopefully just kind of swing this back for us. Then Rotom can switch moves. We don't have to worry about Hydro Pump missing. And I think this is just the way to kind of slowly stall out this Trick Room. Alright, so Sun is gone, weaker Eruption, and Tyranitar has even boosted special defense to the Sand. So yep, and after this Sand chips him down, Eruption will do even less damage because they won't be at max health. Venusaur gets a Protect, all the predictions coming through here, and I think only one more turn of Trick Room to stall after this one. So Venusaur is going to go down either way, but if we don't for some reason, we can Earth Power on King Gambit, and that's an easy Protect for Tyranitar to keep stalling this thing out. And once Trick Room wears off, this game should be over. I kind of don't even mind if Venusaur goes down because that just gives us a chance to bring someone else in after Trick Room expires. Alright, Trick Room is gone. So because of that, I think we can bring Arcanine in safely here. It's going to proc the Defiant, but I think we should be able to just outspeed and Flare Blitz. Even a Sucker Punch shouldn't be a problem. And then I'm so nervous here that I don't want to Rock Slide this Torkoal. I'm not even going to take those chances. I'm going to knock them off. I know it probably won't KO, but we have plenty of Pokemon to come in and deal with it after that. Missing attacks is how we lose this. Alright, no Sucker Punch to even worry about. King Gambit goes down, and I expect this Body Press to KO our Tyranitar, but that's fine. I did the knockoff because we can whittle them down with our other Pokemon anyway. Wow, they Body Pressed on Arcanine. That's really weird. I thought they'd just KO the Tyranitar. Oh well, the opponent forfeits, and that is a fantastic win to get us into the Ultra Ball tier, I believe. Yeah, nice. We're back on a little 2-game win streak into the Ultra Ball tier to start getting up closer to Master Ball tier, so let's keep this thing rolling. I'm having a blast. I'm kind of thinking about switching into the Rain team, but we're having fun and we're pretty close at this point, so might as well keep going with this one. Alright, another pretty fun team here. I actually like Gardevoir a lot into this matchup. And then I think I'll bring Tyranitar and Arcanine in the back. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Gotta be careful about that Vivillon. I've seen them just do Choice Scarf, Sleep Powder, which is kind of crazy, but we definitely want to watch out for that because you can get caught pretty easily. Alright, another win streak fellow here. One of us will be left disappointed, and I think it will be them. Another Golden Go. I've been seeing them all over the place here in this season. Well, that's pretty crazy that we traced good as gold. That is a fantastic ability, but unfortunately we're going to have to Mega Evolve anyways, but they might outspeed us into a Shadow Ball, so we have to be careful if they're Scarfed. Maybe we can scout this out and protect on Gardevoir. I would love a Will-O-Wisp on Kangaskhan, but we got burned last time we did that, no pun intended. Let's not Mega Evolve, let's just protect with Gardevoir, scout this out for a little bit. We might get faked out anyways. See what they want to do. Nice, so we protect the fake out. Maybe they go with the Make It Rain, and we protect that. Will-O-Wisp lands on Kangaskhan, so that's great. They are definitely weaker for the rest of the battle. So that gamble paid off. We can't Will-O-Wisp Golden Ghost, so we're going to have to switch out the Rotom, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, Make It Rain's going to be big regardless here. Wow, that didn't do much at all on Rotom. I guess it's a minus quad resist. White Herb, so we don't really want to switch out Rotom since it's resisting so well. But they're not going to do anything, so we kind of have to, sadly. I think I'm just going to keep Rotom in, just to eat the next Make It Rain. Bring in the Arcanine to keep Gardevoir safe. Kangaskhan will be even weaker. They might switch out is my thought process on the Will-O-Wisp, but I just want to get this next Golden Go hit while it's not too much of a problem. Okay, now we can switch out Rotom next turn. So Golden Go is going to be there either worthless or switching out. We can Flare Blitz that slot. Something will not like to eat that hit. Last Resort on the burn won't be too terrible. Still does a lot of damage. Rotom has kind of done its part here. But we can switch them out in case they come back in later to do something for us. Tyranitar comes in, Flare Blitz on that Golden Ghost slot. If they switch out, we'll go from there. Alright. Don't mind to protect either, that's fine with me. Yeah, that Last Resort's not going to do much at all to Tyranitar. Man, still pretty crazy for a resisted burned hit. I would have loved that Intimidate to go off, but that's fine. Kangaskhan's just getting whittled down right now with Sand and Burn. Arcanine's healing back with the leftovers. So now we can start doing something here. I want to low kick the Kangaskhan. But if they switch out, maybe a knockoff would be pretty good too. I guess we can knock off anyways. I'm going to knock off into the Kangaskhan just in case they switch. And I'm willing to be wrong. Either way, we'll take off an item and it'll do good damage. This Golden Go is just sticking this one out. No crit would have been the problem. So we don't have to worry about that. Flare Blitz will do good work here. It's funny, you can't even see Golden Go because of Arcanine's tail. That's hilarious. Golden Go is gone. No longer have to worry about them. I kind of wish I low kicked, but I was willing to do the knockoff for a switch. Now, I expect like a Mega Starmie to come in, which won't be great. They're just sticking it out on the last resort. Wow, Arcanine goes down. That was pretty crazy through the burn. No crit. Ah, the Silk Scarf. Now we see the trick that they had up their sleeve. So, low kick would have KO'd, but Kangaskhan's going to go down regardless. Now, the question is, do I want to bring in Rotom now to do something, or have Gardevoir get a chance to set up? I think I'll bring in Rotom. Maybe we do a nice Thunderbolt if it's Starmie or something. Get a nice outspeed real quick, burn something. Okay, we can try to Thunderbolt the Vivillon. I don't actually know who wins this outspeed. They might outspeed the Rotom anyway if they're Scarfed. But we will learn together here. Okay, I'm cool with that. We were doing that anyway. So it's probably Focus Sash, but we have a Sandstorm regardless. So that Vivillon is gone. And if Rock Slide lands, I mean, Kangaskhan's going down regardless, but just finishing them off now would be pretty cool. Rotom is gone, but that's fine anyway, because we can bring in the Gardevoir. Honestly, might even be better. Alright, all three of their last Pokemon could be Megas, so interested to see who they went with. Venusaur, well, that is a nice Psychic from Gardevoir. Gotta be careful if it doesn't KO for some reason. And Tyranitar, I guess we'll just go with a knockoff. Should just be an easy one-shot here. There goes the Venusaur, and a nice win again. Moving on up here, I don't think this will get us to the next tier of Ultra Ball, but we'll get a nice little win streak going. I think that's 3 in a row, so maybe we'll move up. Oh yeah, maybe not. Ultra Ball tier moves pretty slowly. Okay, we're gonna have to win some more, but that's fine. All right, got some more standard stuff here. I'm debating which Mega I want to bring, and I think this is looking like a Venusaur game just because of that Sneasler. I never liked that matchup, and we can do good against Sylveon too, just a lot of that team, Milotic. Yeah, definitely want Venusaur. Got to be careful of the Corviknight, but we have Rotom for that. And then I think, yeah, I like Arcanine more than the Aegislash in this one. It at least has something against Corviknight. Intimidate could be good, just have to watch out for that Mirror Armor. Flare Blitz on a Frostlass even does work against Sylveon, so yeah. I like this. Alright, we got a good matchup. We just have to predict who's going to get faked out and who can get off some good damage and who we want to get the damage off on. I think this is a pretty easy Thunderbolt into my Milotic. And then the question now is if I predict that they'll fake out Rotom. So I think I'll get rid of Sneasler, honestly. They could fake out Venusaur, and then Thunderbolt would not KO my Lodic, but good to start chipping them down while we can. Yeah, they always fake out Rotom. I don't know what it is. But that's cool with me. I predict maybe a Focus Sash on Sneasler. Wow, it didn't KO. That's a little surprising, honestly. That could have been bad if that Hypnosis landed, but we kind of got a free turn there. And so now I think, I'll Thunderbolt Sneasler because we will outspeed the Sneasler. And then just get a nice Giga Drain on my Lodic. If they want to switch, that's cool with me. Something will eat those hits, and we're in a decent spot to start. But yeah, Rotom should outspeed Sneasler, so that'll cover for the Venusaur, and then, yeah, I think that's the better way to do this. Alright, Sneasler is down. Crit. Crit definitely mattered there, with 16%. Good Giga Drain. Are they Citrus Buried or Leftovers? Either way, it's just good to start whittling down this Pokemon. Coil. Alright, we won't mind that because we're using special attacks here. Leftovers, okay. Garchomp. Alright, well, we're not really bothered still by anything. I'll just Thunderbolt my Lodic and do a nice Giga Drain on Garchomp. I'm not really too bothered here. Gotta be careful if my Lodic survives and gets off a Hypnosis, but I think this should KO. Okay. I thought maybe, you know, Venusaur does more damage than Rotom, but Thunderbolt has more power than Giga Drain, so that ended up working out. And I don't care about the Stomping Tantrum because Giga Drain will heal most of this back up. Wow, that was a Life Orb too. Yeah, that's good. We'll get most of that health back. Awesome. Awesome stuff. No need to go any further. They give us a quick forfeit right there to just keep the streak alive and move right up to rank 3. I love it. I love it. Let's keep the streak going. Alright, we brought the excadrill back. I just think I needed a little more punch on this team. We've got a fun one here, and you know what? I don't see why I can't lead with the 2 sand Pokemon and try to have some fun here. I'll go with Gardevoir too, and I think for the last slot we will go with our Rotom. Okay, Gardevoir, Dragonite. Definitely a good lead for us here, but what do we want to do with this is the question. I think we just don't overthink this. Rock Slide will be good damage and cover everything we need, and then I'll just Iron Head, outspeed this Gardevoir, and if they want to protect, that is cool with me. We should be able to Rock Slide Dragonite anyway. Alright, no protect. So their Mega is gone, and good thing I brought the Excadrill back. That's the punch we needed on our team, so this will be a single target Rock Slide through the multi-scale, so I have to worry about that. Fire Blast lands, but we have a Focus Sash, so no worries there. So hopefully Rock Slide doesn't miss. Phew. Could have probably just done knockoff to be safe, to be honest with you. Alright, I think Ninetales can have Ice Shard, so that would be really unfortunate for the Excadrill, but if they don't, I will make them... Okay, no Ice Shard, Ninetales is gone, no Focus Sash, and we just rinse repeat here. Look at Excadrill, just carrying right when I bring them back. They're like, hey, why didn't you bring us? Oh, and look at that, Tyranitar had the Bright Powder, so... Ice Beam was not a great play. This person just getting steamrolled here with the combo. Let's just lead this and see how far it can take us. Why not? I like being more calculated in the home screen, but hey, why don't I just try to be brain dead for a second? I don't think Meowstic will be able to bring this one back for them. Wow, Iron Head crit. I'm not sure if the crit mattered or not, but that was a clean sweep by the Sand Rush. Yeah, let's just ride this out and see if it can be stopped. Let's kind of force someone to stop it for a second. I like being more calculated and not just brain dead with my lead, but let's try it for a second. Alright, the teams are starting to get more standard here. We are seeing a mirror matchup though. I think I want to go with the Gardevoir Rotom lead into this one. It's funny we have a mirror matchup with the Tyranitar, but I'll bring mine anyway. The question is if I want to go with the excadrill or not. I think I need to go with close combat on Arcanine. Wild Charge was good in the last meta for so much Charizard, but I've been seeing more Tyranitar, so I'd rather have close combat, honestly. Yeah, I think Arcanine's better in this one, just against everything, pretty much. Alright, not a terrible lead, not the best lead, but probably the best lead we could have had, to be honest with you. No worry about the Intimidate here. We can do whatever we want with Rotom and Gardevoir, honestly. No reason to not press this Hyper Voice right now on Gardevoir, and I would rather have my Pixelate than the Liquid Voice with our Mega. They always fake out Rotom, I can't explain it, so the question is Thunderbolt or Hydro Pump, and I'm just never too worried about Incineroar, honestly, so I would rather finish off this Primarina than risk a Hydro Pump on Incineroar. And just better to roll with the safer move with the 100 accuracy, right? See? I can't explain it. They fake out Rotom every single time. We take that big damage every time, no matter what. I am totally cool with that, even though it didn't get a KO. And we don't care as much about theirs, so fine by me. So we just do the same thing. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to, and now with this Thunderbolt, this will be great KOs across the board. If they want to switch out, I'm cool with that. We are just getting good damage across the board with Gardevoir. Something is not going to want to eat this, even if it's a Venusaur. Hey, I'll take the extra damage for the single target. Every bit counts here. Venusaur is beefy, although we should just outspeed Psychic, even if they, wow. They'll probably bring Incineroar back in to fake out Gardevoir this turn. So we'll protect that, switch out the Rotom so we don't eat a Giga Drain here. I think that's the best way to play this. So yeah, fake out probably coming for Gardevoir. Let's protect. No need to eat a free hit with Rotom. We can bring in Arcanine. Quick Claw activates. Very interesting. So not Mega Venusaur. Gotta worry about that Quick Claw even if there's no fake out. That is interesting. But since it's not Mega, we can also Flare Blitz. So we got that prediction. Quick Claw would have been bad too, but negated their turn. Now the question here is I gotta be careful because if I Psychic and Flare Blitz KOs, then Gardevoir won't be able to damage Incineroar. But Gardevoir outspeeds. So I guess I will just Wild Charge into Incineroar. See, another case where I would have loved to have a close combat right now. I think I gotta switch that out after this game. Okay. Yeah, that would have been just a KO'd Incineroar, but that's fine. I don't think that parting shot will keep Venusaur safe here. Now this could get fancy if they switch Venusaur into Incineroar next turn. That could be fancy. So I'm going to try to maybe out-fancy their fancy. Let's switch in Tyranitar here. And then I am going to Flare Blitz Meowscarada because maybe their Venusaur is going to switch out. Do I want to KO Venusaur or Mouse? I think Meowscarada is just definitely a bigger threat. I don't see a reason Meowscarada would KO Arcanine. Flower Trick's not going to be good here, but it would have just outsped KO'd Gardevoir anyway. We could have protected, but oh, the 2 hit point survival. That's pretty funny. Wow. Very interesting, but Life Orb, so I don't think Venusaur can KO us here, even with an Earth Power. And that should be a KO'd Meowscarada, which was the bigger threat. So I'm happy about that. Not too worried about Incineroar in the back, I don't think. So we do survive the Earth Power. Now, what do we want to do this turn? We got to be careful because Rotom can't do much of anything to Venusaur, so we don't want to get stuck into that matchup. We need Gardevoir for them. Incineroar can do fake out stuff here, which is not good. And Venusaur can protect. So they'll probably just fake out Tyranitar to try and finish us off. And I guess we just try to take this opportunity to KO Venusaur if that's what they want to do. And if they fake out Arcanine, then we'll go from there, I guess. Damn. That's unfortunate. Alright, I think this is our turn to apply pressure since they can't fake out. Gardevoir should be the fastest thing on the field right now. So we're going to take that opportunity to KO Venusaur, and if Venusaur protects, then I think our Tyranitar should outspeed the Incineroar on that low kick. But we got to start applying this pressure now. And then if we get into a 3v1, we can go from there. Alright, Venusaur's gone. I think that's the threat out of the way. And now, if we need to, Rotom can just Thunderbolt from here. That was a fun one. Gotta remember to go put close combat on my Arcanine real quick for sure. Alright, so we got close combat on Arcanine, but I'm trying something else out fancy too. It doesn't apply to this team, but I put Psychic Fangs on instead of Snarl, just in case we have some Grimmsnarl or Ninetales or Frostlass, any of those screens. We can have an answer for those. And now I would love a Wild Charge for Pelipper, but we'll lead Rotom just in case that's the problem here. Definitely like Venusaur into this team. Just have to be careful about Pelipper, but if it's Pelipper, we can go with our Sand Pokemon and go from there, I think. Yeah, I think this is the 4 that I want to rock with. They have an answer for pretty much everything. It's unfortunate I lost the performance bonus earlier because I didn't push as high in doubles last season, so that's a friendly reminder each season to push as high as I can. But here's a fun lead in doubles, Umbreon and Scovillain. Not something you see every day. Rotom is kind of just sitting here, so maybe we can just Volt Switch them out. And with Venusaur, I fully expect Scovillain to protect right now. So I kind of want to Sludge Bomb Umbreon, but I guess we Sludge Bomb in case they don't. I guess we'll do that. We won't get too cute. But they'll probably protect. If they do, that's fine. We're not really threatened. I'd rather not mess this up than get protected. Alright, they're Mega-ing, so they're not protecting for the Moxie at least. I know Venusaur might get burned from this, but that's cool. Gotta attack them at some point. Man, Umbreon is so tanky. Alright, they did not protect, and that is a KO'd Mega Scovillain. I think a burn is worth that to get rid of their Mega on turn 1. See, that's much more value than if I would have gotten protected right there. And that Toxic means nothing, to be honest with you. We won't be around long enough for that to matter. This Umbreon's going to be around, though. We have a low kick, but they don't weigh that much. But we can just start whittling them down. Don't need to focus on them immediately for sure. Now this is precarious. We kind of need to get out of this quickly. The problem here is both Pokemon are threatened. So let's go into Rotom and protect on Venusaur. Gotta bring in the Tyranitar, or gotta switch out Tyranitar first for the Weather Wars. And we'll just protect with Venusaur in case a Hurricane's coming our way. And then next turn we can switch out Venusaur for Tyranitar. It works too because he wouldn't do a Weather Ball into Venusaur. So if you Hurricanes into Tyranitar, it's not as bad. And it could miss in the sand. Nice. Not too worried about the foul play on Rotom. So now we have even more threat here because I don't even want to Volt Switch, honestly. I guess we could. Kind of want to switch Venusaur out. I guess we can do this, though. We should outspeed anyway. I'll Volt Switch, bring in the Tyranitar, and then... But what if they're Focus Sash? See, that's the thing. Yeah. A Focus Sash is the reason I'm doing this. I could have gotten cute on that, but I don't want to deal with a Focus Sash, and Sand will take care of that twofold. And a Focus Sash Hurricane on Venusaur would not be fun. That's okay. I was willing to take that risk because I did not want to deal with a Focus Sash. Umbreon can chill here as long as they want to. If it's a 4v1 at the end of this, that is game. So Weather's on our side now. They can't switch anyone out or in. Archaludon won't be able to do an Electro Shot or anything, but that's a scary last Pokemon for sure. And Thunderbolt's not going to do much, so... Rotom doesn't really do much of anything, so I guess I'll just keep a little pressure on Umbreon while we can, and do a low kick here. If this is like a Scarf Archaludon for some reason into like a Flash Cannon, we will learn some lessons, but I'll just try to do a low kick here and get some damage across. Man, Umbreon's tanky. Yep, I guess, well, they might not be Scarf, but they outsped. But we're tanky because of the sand, so I do not expect low kick to KO, but we will do good damage here. Venusaur can kind of take care of this anyway with an Earth Power, so just kind of whittling them down, to be honest with you, and maybe proccing a Citrus Berry. Or actually, I prefer getting them to this health, so Citrus Berry doesn't proc, and now we just KO with an Earth Power. Leftovers, okay. It's the same thing. I guess we could bring an Excadrill while Sand is up, right? Might as well while it's up. Gotta be worried about a high horsepower miss, but what can you do, right? You can't really play that game. I guess let's try to get rid of Umbreon maybe in case we survive. Don't want to keep proccing his stamina here. Okay. Good thing I targeted Umbreon. Venusaur can kind of come in and Earth Power whenever. Oh, wow. You know, I thought about doing a knockoff just to get rid of their item. That's funny. I guess it was a Chocolate Berry anyway, so... knockoff wouldn't have done much more. It's kind of funny. I guess we didn't see a leftovers. It's on Archaludon. That's right. Okay, but now high horsepower should do work, and if it misses, we'll just go from there, but Venusaur should be able to do Earth Power anyways here. Please don't miss. Please don't make life trickier than it needs to be. I don't like these accuracy games with these moves, y'all. They got a stamina boost, so it could maybe survive somehow. We double focused, so that's good there. Someone's going to do some damage. No miss. Archaludon does survive, so do they take down Tyranitar or Excadrill here? If they target Excadrill, then... yeah, okay. Look at that. Tyranitar ends up getting the KO. That's awesome. Nice. And that's fine with me, honestly, to go down to Toxic, because Venusaur can just come in and start doing some work. But the writing was on the wall, so they forfeit anyway. Nice win there. That was a good one. Alright, the doubles grind is dragging out just a tiny bit longer. We didn't have as big of a performance bonus because we pushed much further in singles intentionally last season, so good thing to note. Lost the win streak again, RNG, always a factor, but that's fine. Not blaming that. We got to learn the meta again for doubles. It's way different than singles. So I like the sand lead here. There's no weather on their team to worry about. Mega Venusaur is safer on this team, except for Staraptor, which we can cover with these other three. Alright, not the best lead here. We got intimidated, but that's okay. Liepard will probably fake someone out, and I could only assume we have a close combat coming for somebody. I'll protect Tyranitar to stay safe from that close combat, but Excadrill is focus sashed. If they double focus Excadrill, I just got to give them props. You can't plan for everything, but I think that's our best course of action. It's a Mega Staraptor, so they're definitely doing close combat. The question is who they targeted. They might think that Tyranitar was going to protect and then switch over to Excadrill, so it'll be interesting to see here. Doesn't look like a fake out, although I hope that the fake out is okay. Never lucky. If they double focus here, I don't even know what to say anymore. Okay, well at least we didn't have to worry about the double focus. Now the question is what to do with Tyranitar. I don't really want any Pokemon to eat a close combat, but I guess I would rather have Venusaur eat it than our Rotom. And we'll just do a Rock Slide again to try and get some flinches, I guess. It is probably our best course of action for now, as much as I hate saying that. I don't want to rely on flinch hacks with this team, but this will be an uphill battle. Encore is funny on Tyranitar when we switch them out, and Rock Slide misses, so that's just perfect. Just gonna protect with Venusaur here, try and bait out a Brave Bird, and start chipping down some Thunderbolts on the Staraptor. I fully expect them to outpredict this, but it's our only hope. We got a terrible matchup. Rock Slide misses suck, and cool. A Charm on the Staraptor for the combo, and I think that is GG, my friends, unless we get a Protect prediction and KO them, which is possible. Okay. Well, we have a chance. So Venusaur is free to do something because Rotom will outspeed on this Thunderbolt. So I think we got to get a prediction. I don't expect Liepard to stay in. And unless it's Golden Go, we would want to do Sludge Bomb. Kind of a big rock, paper, scissors here. I have to think about what the most likely is and what I'm the most worried about. I'm guessing it's not a Whimsicott because they would have led them, but I could be wrong. Earth Power is only good for Golden Go, and I don't really need to do a crazy prediction on Golden Go. Like, Earth Power wouldn't be good. Giga Drain would be good against Garchomp and Basculegion. I'll just do a Sludge Bomb. I fully expect them to protect or something because I don't think they'd want to give up their Mega like that, but maybe there's just nothing they can do, and maybe we get a good counter sweep here. Alright, they are just encoring with the Liepard, so that is annoying, but fine because Staraptor gets to get KO'd, so at least their Mega's gone. We'll just switch Venusaur out. I don't really care about the Encore. It would have just been cool to do damage to Liepard or something else, but yeah, that's not the worst thing that could have happened. Rotom might even be able to KO them with the Thunderbolt here. Would have been cool if they encored the Rotom, but they probably know we're Scarfed since we outsped. And now that a Garchomp is in, that's a terrible matchup for Rotom. So let's see here. I could Thunderbolt the Liepard to try and get rid of them. Venusaur can protect now because of that Encore, so might as well. Since we only have 2 switches, and I don't want Tyranitar to eat an Earthquake or anything. I guess while we're in, let's KO the Liepard with Rotom. It's not too threatened by Garchomp. They can't Earthquake us. And then after this next turn, I'll switch them out so we can reset their move. Bring in the Tyranitar, and Venusaur can hopefully attack after that. The Encore might be worn off. Perfect. Wasted turn. Rotom is scarfed. And that's a KO Liepard. So Mega's gone. The annoying Encore Pokemon is gone. And that is a wasted Earthquake. So now we have to switch Rotom out because that Thunderbolt won't be doing good against Garchomp. But this could be Basculegion. I got the prediction. The famous last words. The sad thing here is I don't think that Thunderbolt KOs. That's why I used to run Thunder, but I hated the accuracy. So I'll just leave this in, and the other two can deal with Garchomp if we need to. But might as well keep taking advantage of these Thunderbolts while we can. Sandstorm will break a Focus Sash if we need to. And if they get a prediction, that's crazy. So they are choice scarfing, outspeeding us, and what can you do? Okay, so I'm either going to win or lose this battle on this turn. And I have two schools of thought here. I could predict the Protect on Basculegion. Garchomp kind of means nothing to me. I could predict the Protect on Basculegion because it's choice scarfed since it outsped Rotom. So I don't think they want to last respect into Tyranitar. So that should be a good knockoff. And if they are doing the last respects on Venusaur, this wins us the game. I could have attacked with both, and whoever they didn't target would have KO'd, but I just don't think they're going to last respects Tyranitar because I don't think that'll KO with the resisted hit. And we get the prediction, so this knockoff should KO, and then I think that opens up the door to greatness here moving forward. Basculegion's gone. Great prediction there on those protects. Whew. That one got off to a really bad start for sure, but I think these two should be able to deal with Garchomp. I'm going to just protect with Tyranitar because I can, and I want to preserve the split damage on an Earthquake as long as I can, because if Tyranitar got KO'd and then it was single target on Venusaur, that might get worse. So we'll just have less damage coming our way. Get the health back with Giga Drain here, and then, yeah, we can two-shot from there, I think. I think Tyranitar will survive anyway, but I'm thinking long-term here, and I think that's the best course of action. Yeah, no need to worry about that, but still think that was the best decision to make. Giga Drain will get them low, and the knockoff should just be able to finish them off here. So that was a crazy comeback, terrible start that I was not feeling confident in for sure. The doubles grind is definitely more grueling than singles right now. The battles just take longer, and I don't have that performance bonus, and just a lot more meta heavy to deal with, but we're climbing up, and hopefully we can get another streak here to get that boosting back on our side, but yeah, it's taking just a little bit longer. If we win one more though, we'll be ranked 2, and then things can hopefully start moving a little faster. Okay, another just standard team that you would see. I like Venusaur into everything except for Delphox, and if it is Delphox, then that is why we have the Sand combo. But I fully expect an Incineroar Blastoise lead, and if that is the lead, maybe I want to go with a Rotom instead of an Excadrill in the front. I don't actually really even like Excadrill into this team, so I think I'm going to go with this lead and have the Arcanine and Venusaur in the back to come in to a good matchup. But yeah, Excadrill wasn't doing great against that team. I think Arcanine with an Intimidate or even like a close combat for King Gambit would go farther. Yep, called it. So the problem now is, like I said, they always fake out Rotom. Always, always, always. So I could try, Rotom I'm going to Thunderbolt on Blastoise just to be safe. But I think I need to predict a Shell Smash here from Blastoise. And if I do, we can get a ton of good damage off with a low kick. I think they'd be mega, so I think low kick would do more damage than a knockoff. Although maybe it wouldn't just because of stab. We'll knock off to be safe. And yeah, we'll double focus if they protect. I don't really care about that, but I fully predict Shell Smash, faking out someone to try and get that boosting. If they go straight into a Water Spout, Tyranitar might survive because of the Sand boosting. It'll be so much damage anyway, but then Sand will chip them down. Wow, they targeted Tyranitar, so very interesting there. Now we are definitely going to get good damage with this Thunderbolt, so Water Spout is no longer a concern. Yeah, I knew that wouldn't KO. I wish that did 1% more because Sand would have KO'd, but look at how little this is going to do now. That's hilarious. That did 6 damage to Rotom and maybe 15 to Tyranitar. So that's really cool. That was a crit. A crit on Rotom did 6 damage. Oh man, that's crazy. So Blastoise shouldn't have too much healing, and that Sand will take them out. But they should have a Sinistra. I did see a Sinistra, so their only way out of this is to try and Sinistra back the Blastoise. So I'll knock off that slot. And if they don't switch, we'll at least knock off that Incineroar Citrus Berry. I'm going to Thunderbolt to be extra safe and get this Blastoise out of here. Don't want them healing back up for any reason. And if they don't switch out, whatever. They'll be KO'd anyway. Alright, I think I predicted this one pretty well. Look at that. Look at that. We're getting better, y'all. We're getting better. You just have to kind of predict in doubles. And it's not too tricky because people get pretty easy to read. So the tricky part now is if we KO the Sinistra and Incineroar comes back in, we have to deal with another Fake Out. And the Sinistra can also do a Rage Powder. But again, the good news is we don't have to worry about a Water Spout, which is the really scary thing. But they could still Aura Sphere the Tyranitar, so I have to be really careful with Tyranitar. I don't want to just lose them because of a stupid play. I guess we can just protect and scout out here. If they don't Rage Powder, Blastoise will be gone. If they do Rage Powder, that means they're not going to Matcha Gotcha, which means they're not going to heal up, which means Thunderbolt should do good damage. Okay. Kingambit. I will keep taking this free damage with the Rotom. Yeah, I will take that damage on Kingambit if we can just chip their whole team down with Rotom. This Matcha Gotcha is going to be annoying, but... God, that did way more damage than I wanted to see, and if we get burned, please don't burn us. Okay, Rotom is in a scary spot right now, and I think Tyranitar outspeeds both of these, but I gotta be really careful here. We could have another, you know, just the threat of a Rage Powder from Sinistra is so scary, but they might just want to Matcha Gotcha anyway. I will low kick to get Kingambit out of here. I'm not too concerned about the Sinistra, and then I'm going to switch in Venusaur here. I don't want to bring in Arcanine and proc a competitive or Defiant for any reason on that Kingambit. We've gotten a good start, but I don't want them to claw this one back. Such a brutal survival there on that Blastoise with just 1 more hit points. Sand would have taken them out. Man, that's a tanky Sinistra. I kind of thought Knockoff would do more. Did they not have an item now that I'm thinking about it? Oh, nice. Look at that. So we get a free KO on Kingambit with this low kick. Venusaur's in for pretty much free. Matcha Gotcha will be bad against Tyranitar, but the only thing we're really worried about is a burn, which I expect to happen. No, Trick Room is weird. Trick Room is weird for sure, but Venusaur doesn't really care about Blastoise, and we're not the fastest team. Rotom is the fastest thing on our team, but they're kind of sitting there in the back waiting for an opportunity to come in at the end. We're not too worried about Incineroar. We have to play this right, but we're in a very good spot. Kingambit's a big threat gone. Incineroar and Sinistra are more supportive. We just have to be careful. We can't let them just claw this Blastoise back into the game. Alright, Incineroar. So, That's why the knockoff didn't do more damage. That's right. We had a Intimidate. So now Arcanine is safe to switch in because we do not have to worry about the King Gambit. And they could fake out Venusaur, but if they don't, I'm trying to think about predictions here. They might switch into the Sinistcha slot so that Sinistcha can come back in and heal the Blastoise. And if they do, Sludge Bomb should be enough anyway. I could Giga Drain and do really predictionary stuff, but if they don't switch, I'd rather have Sludge Bomb do good against Sinistcha too. And if they fake out Venusaur, that's totally cool. Intimidating Incineroar is not the goal, but I will take any little help we can get. No fake out. Alright, well this Machagacha is not going to do much. And Arcanine can't get burned, and Venusaur could, which would be annoying, but not the worst thing. Crit. Wow. Flare Blitz won't do too much with the Thick Fat and Intimidate, so maybe we could have Earth Powered Incineroar, but I stand by this Sludge Bomb. This should do good damage. I don't know if it'll KO Sinistcha. I almost called it Matcha. Sinistcha is so tanky, but oh no, the Sandstorm subsided. I should have checked that timer. It would have KO'd. Okay, time for big predictions here. I think we need to do a close combat into this Incineroar slot with Arcanine, and then why is this communication taking so long? Okay, just lagged out like crazy. But let's close combat into this slot. If they switch out, Blastoise won't want to eat that either. And we will stick with the Sludge Bomb in this slot. And if they switch out, Blastoise won't want to deal with that either. If they Rage Powder this turn, whatever. Arcanine isn't the biggest thing we need on this team. And that means they'll go down to Sludge Bomb anyway. And then that means Blastoise can't heal back up. Actually, I think since Trick Room is in play, if they Rage Powder, Venusaur will go first, knock them out, and we still close combat Incineroar. This person must be lagging. Okay. That works too. These Flare Blitzes are going to add up, but again, Venusaur is not really the Pokemon we need. And they just kind of weaken themselves to this close combat. Incineroar is tanky, but I hope this could KO. Come on. Just make it easy for me here. Go down. Nope. It's never easy, is it? The good news is we have extreme speed for this turn. So, never mind. Oh, never lucky. Never lucky on these. But Arcanine's at full health. Arcanine's not really threatened. I think we should be able to do the same thing. I'm going to keep doing this until they give me a reason not to. And if they switch at any point, Blastoise does not want to eat either of these hits. And I'm pretty sure we even survived that next Flare Blitz. Hey, I'll take a miss. Why not? We might not survive after the Machagacha, but that does 9 damage. Did we outspeed? Okay, no, we don't. It's close. And we survive. So that, my friends, should be the GG right there. Sludge Bomb that Sinistcha, close combat that Incineroar. Once again, so glad I have close combat. I think it's just better than Wild Charge right now. And there's the forfeit. No need to even worry about KOing the Blastoise, but a good win right there. Clawing it back, we hopefully can get a win streak going here, because that's the way we can vault into Master Ball tier quicker, so they'll give us a little bit of a boost. I don't think it actually comes into play on a 2-game win streak, but we're moving. We're moving slowly. We only need a few more wins on a streak to really start get it going, but we can make it happen right here. Alright, I was having some connectivity issues, so apologies. We missed some of the battles in rank 2 and 1 here, but if we win this one, we can get into Master Ball tier. The video is already pretty long, so I don't feel too terrible about that, but I think I want to do my lead with Rotom here into Tyranitar because we see a Charizard. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with these 4 against this team. Yeah, like I said, we were having some Wi-Fi issues, so I wanted to play on my phone to make extra sure that we didn't have any issues, and we lost a battle or two just because of DCing and stuff, so sorry we missed some of them, but like I said, the video is already pretty long. We'll be playing with this team up a ton this season in Master Ball Tier. We might even mix it up and bring the Rain team, so we have plenty of battles, and let's do the one that counts right here. Get one last good victory up into Master Ball Tier. The team's been working pretty well. I wouldn't say it's perfect. Got some tweaking to do. Maybe something better than the Mega Gardevoir, to be honest with you. But we'll figure that out. It'll all come together. Just got to close out strong with this battle right here. And this person wants to take their sweet time leading up into the last battle, but that's okay. We're building the suspense, and hopefully we get a good lead here. I predict some sort of Whimsicott Charizard deal. Of course, we play someone on a 7-win streak for our promotion match. I think they intentionally match you up with harder people. That's just what I have deduced my vast knowledge so far on this season. But okay, so Venusaur can Sludge Bomb someone. Now the question here is, I don't want to get caught with a Mega Floette Protect or something. I also don't want to really switch into Tyranitar, because if they do attack us with a fairy move and not protect, that would be really bad. So we'll see what they do here. The good news with the Volt Switch is we'll have that intel beforehand, so if they protect, obviously we won't switch out, and if they don't, then we know we probably shouldn't switch into Tyranitar because a Dazzling Gleam will come our way. But I always like taking out the Whimsicott. They'll have a Focus Sash, but hopefully we can get the 30% chance to poison, and if not, we can bring in our Tyranitar Sand for that. So, okay. They probably want to do their Tailwind stuff, which I'm okay with, honestly. Venusaur can do a pretty good job with this. And now I would love to see this Focus Sash break with the poison. That would just make things so nice here. Come on, just give it to us for the Master Ball Tier. Oh, never lucky. That would have been great. We're still okay. I think we can Volt Switch into Whimsicott. We should probably still outspeed with our Scarf, although could get tough if they outspeed us into a Giga Drain or something, but I'm willing to take that, and Venusaur can try to do a Sludge Bomb into this Mega Floette, and if we get outsped, we'll go from there. I don't think we can get KO'd, but hey, I've been wrong before. That Mega Floette does a ton of damage. Maybe they have a Psychic attack or something. Alright, well, something will need a Volt Switch, whether it's Whimsicott or not. Ooh, great targeting here on that Volt Switch. Just have to survive this Dazzling Gleam, which Rotom does with 3 health. That's huge. That was a crit, too. Oh, I didn't need that crit, but we survived it. Volt Switch onto Basculegion. Would have loved it. Oh, man, we should have just Thunderbolted there and gotten that KO. But the good news is now I can switch in the Tyranitar since they outsped. Get that Sand in to start whittling down that Basculegion. That'll be really nice, honestly. So I think after 4 or 5 turns, I know, or no, 3 or 4 turns, it should go down. Same with the Mega Floette. I might just double protect here and see if they go down to Sand. Basculegion won't, but we need to stall at the Tailwind anyway, so if they want to switch, that's fine. Whimsicott's going to go down to Sand too, so I just don't really want to eat unnecessary damage, and since we're stalling out the Tailwind anyway, I guess I can double protect. I'm not worried about getting set up on, because if they tried to Calm Mind, they would go down to Sand. And if that last Pokemon switches in, I'm just going to play this one extra safe. No need to sacrifice anything, so it doesn't look like they're switching out. Getting the Mega Floette down is really nice. Basculegion will go down next turn, so we can sacrifice someone maybe with a switch in. Alright, they were wave crashing into Tyranitar, so we'll just switch Rotom into that slot. They're pretty much KO'd anyway. And if he switches over and doesn't attack on Venusaur, we'll live with that because that means they go down to Sand. Oh, that played out so well. Alright, it is Whimsicott, so another Pokemon going down to Sand. I'll switch in Rotom, so even if they do try to heal back up, it's only 3 hit points, so it shouldn't do too much. I guess we could try the double protect with Venusaur, but I don't know if that even matters. If Basculegion pivots over and attacks us, I think I'm just fine with that. I'll just Giga Drain in case they switch out, and we get some healing back from someone else, but I'm okay with them switching over to Venusaur with that last respects. Encore, okay. Well, they made the double protect decision for us, I guess. And we get it. Oh, that's great. So now these two are going to go down, and we have a 3v1 against an unknown Pokemon that is not Mega, because it's not the Mega Floette. So I think we got a pretty good one here into the promotion. Sand takes out Whimsicott. Sand takes out Basculegion, and that's another reason I love this team so much. The Sandstorm just makes me so happy. I feel like Pokemon always linger at 5 to 10 health, and Sand makes it to where you never have to worry about that. The Tailwind peters out. You know what? I'm going to switch into Tyranitar, because if that's King Gambit, I do not... It's almost like I've played this game before, y'all. But if that was Arcanine switching in and we procced the Defiant, that is a version of this game of how we lose. So now I will just low kick and Earth Power. Oh, the Venusaur is Encored. Guess that makes it trickier. I guess I'll just protect. I'm not going to switch in the Arcanine. That is the last thing we want. Tyranitar might be able to survive this turn if we don't have speed, which we do. But if Tyranitar was outsped there, I think we survive with the +0, but if we +1 them, I don't think we survive. So, nice. We get a nice solid win there. Some good predictions on the Rotom, those Volt Switches. Venusaur is so clutch against the Whimsicott. That's why I like running them so much. But look at that. Riding a 4-game win streak into the Master Ball tier here. Win streak bonus. Just like that with the doubles team. So nice. Thank you very much for the VP. Yeah, that was really fun. It took longer than the singles, not even because of the connection issues there at the end, but we didn't have as high of a performance bonus. So I'll make sure to push higher up in this one, in doubles this season, so we have a performance bonus as well. But also it would just be super cool to try and push really high in both doubles and singles. So here's the team. You've got the team ID up there at the top. I'm going to share it down in the comments in a pinned comment. So I tweaked it a bit and added the excadrill for y'all. And we've got that Arcanine with Psychic Fangs in close combat. So thank y'all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see the doubles push. Go check out all our singles battles. And subscribe if you want to see those as well. We are definitely going to be pushing high up in singles, doubles, doing it all in Season 5. So as always, I will see y'all in the next episode.